Hello everyone, this is Cameron here. In this video, I'll be showing you how to upload TF2 avatars to VRChat that have cosmetics. There aren't any tutorials about it anywhere online, and anything that's related to porting cosmetics are just to Blender and not to Unity or VRChat. Today, aka August 18th of September of 2020 when this was being written, I finally found out how to do so. In this tutorial, I will try to cover everything I possibly can about porting TF2 models to VRChat in one video. Note, this video will not go over eye simulation, eye blinking animations, or gestures for the avatars. It will also not go over floating cosmetics such as the robot or the balloonicorn. For this tutorial, I will be exporting a cosmetic set for the Scout. These items are the electric twanger, weight room warmer, and a modded item for the hair, the jailbird. Now before we dive into the basis of this video, I want to clarify a few things. The main model I'll be using is the HWM model instead of the regular model since they're higher quality. However, the issue is specifically the Scout and the Sniper, as far as I can tell, are the only models that differ between the regular models. The Scout has a different shirt model while the Sniper has a different leg mesh that's offset. The reason I bring this point up is because the main game's cosmetics, specifically miscellaneous, will not be compatible with the HWM models. You can either look up a fix for the model on Source Filmmaker or just use the regular Scout/Sniper model. If you get lost in this video, I've left timestamps for each of the parts of the video. With all that being said, let's get started. The things you'll need before we start are the following: Team Fortress 2, Blender, Unity, VRChat SDK, Blender Source Tools, CATS, GCFscape, Crowbar, VTF Edit, Toon Shaders, Dynamic Bones, Photoshop, and Source Filmmaker. We're going to make a folder for all the models and textures to go into. To start off, let's start with extracting the files from Team Fortress 2. Open up GCFscape and click on the folder icon on the left. From here, you'll want to navigate to your Steam folder, go to Steam Apps, Common, Team Fortress 2, TF, then open up the TF2 misc.dir.vpk file. Once that's done, open up Models. To speed up the process of looking through hundreds of files for your model, we can simply look up for the file name by using a Steam guide. Link will be in the description. Once you find your file name, use the magnifying glass in GCFscape, then you'll find your model. If you don't know what to grab, just rip everything that's not a VTM file. Extract these contents to your folder. Once you've done that, close the menu and open the folder once again, but this time we'll be opening TF2 textures dir.vpk. And here, navigate to the models and do the exact same thing. Look for the VTF file that has the textures of the model. You'll notice for this model, it has a customizable color. We'll come back to this once we get to Unity. For now, we'll extract this texture to our folder. We'll also extract the normal texture. There was a Fong texture, but I would only recommend extracting this if A, you have a shader that has these material inputs, and/or B, you know how to use other materials provided by the main texture. For the sake of organization, I'm going to make separate folders for each model and textures. Now let's say we want to extract a fixed model from Source Filmmaker. We'll go back to the Steam folder, Steam Apps, Common, but instead go to Source Filmmaker, Game, then Workshop, and Models. Most add-ons in the SFM Workshop show the file directory of the item and the name itself. Copy and paste these into your folder. To get these textures, go back to Workshop and then do Materials and do the same thing. Extract the texture files to the folder. I did the exact same thing for this remodel of the weight room warmer. Now I need to find the models for the Scout. I decided to firstly extract the HWM model, then extract the regular model. Once I had all the models, I opened up Crowbar. At the top I had it selected to decompile. Then I opened up the MDL file to each different model and decompiled them to their separate folders. Do this for each of your models. I forgot to grab the textures for the Scout model, so I went back and looked in this directory. Extract the textures that you need for your model. If you don't know what textures you'll need, I'll show you later in the tutorial. Now that you have all your files, let's combine them together. Open up Blender and delete everything in the project. Up top, go to File, Import, then Source Engine. Navigate to your folder and extract the normal model SMD. I also extracted my HWM model. For this model, I want normal lip sync visms with the HWM model. I select the low quality model, press N, then open up the CATS tab. Under model options, select separate materials only. I deleted the body of the normal Scout and only kept the eyes and head. I also separated the materials of the HWM Scout and deleted only the head, eyes, and tongue. Once that was done, I selected the normal Scout head, went to File, Import, then Source Engine. Navigate to your folder and find the normal Scout VTA. Import the file and delete all the little vertices around the Scout. As you can see, we now have all of our face visms. At the bottom, you'll see these little bones. Let's delete these. Looks like our hoodie model is clipping the Scout's shoulders. It's also clipping with the backpack, but we can't really do anything about that, so we'll just ignore it. For now, we don't really need the main torso model anyway, since it's being hidden by the hoodie. What we can do is select the torso, go into edit mode, hide the hoodie, then go into the wireframe, and delete the vertices that are hidden. Do not delete all vertices associated with the model, only the vertices that are not in view. Looks clean enough. Now let's fix a common issue with the texturing of the eyes. If you don't want your eyes to look dilated and stupid and a lot more crisp, do the following. Select the eyes, go into edit mode, then on the right hand side, right click and do a vertical slit. Bring it however far you want it and change the mode to UV editor. In the middle, you'll notice how our eye will be overlaid on a texture. Let's get our eyeball texture by going to open and opening our eye texture. As you can see, our eyes will be super dilated as they are now. Let's select all the vertices within the layer, press S, then change them to whatever looks normal. I set mine to exactly 1.3. We'll also do the same for the other eye. Let's check to see if the model moves normally with the other models. Oops, I forgot to delete the bicep. Everything looks normal enough, so let's extract this model. Go to File, Export, then FBX. We'll export it to our folder. Before exporting though, make sure to go to the armature menu on the right and uncheck leaf bones. Now that we got the models and its textures, let's make a new Unity project. Drag in your new model. We'll also upload our VRChat SDK. When we dragged our model into the atriarchy, the model comes out to be super massive. To fix this, we'll need to change the model's height. For any model of TF2, I personally use 0.0222. Next, let's go into the model, select the materials, and change the location to use legacy materials. A new folder will drop in with all the materials for your model. Change all the colors of the materials to white. Once you're here, you can check to see if you have all the materials needed for your model. Extract your textures into the Unity project and select a model and select Albedo. Find the texture corresponding to the material name and it will be displayed on the model. As you can see, the eyes don't look as dilated as the previous example. It took a while, but I realized I didn't have the right hand materials and needed to go back and extract the right ones. I looked back and realized that two of my textures have color parts. You can do one of two things. You can either extract the material as itself and color the texture with the material color inside Unity. The only issue with this is the whole texture is affected by the color too, not just the needed color part. If you don't care, then just use this method. The second method is by going into Photoshop with the texture, selecting the material with whatever selection tool you want to use, then select the areas that will be colored. If you don't know what parts will be colored or not, go back into Unity, use the colorable texture on the model, and look at the key texture components and locate them within Photoshop. Select all parts that will be colored, then make a new hue/contrast layer. Checkmark the colorize box. To find the exact color you want, go to the TF2 Paints wiki and plug in the RGB values into a hue/saturation/lightness converter. You might need to change the lightness since it might not look accurate to the original color. As you can see, we've gotten closer to the main red color of the guitar. Once we're done, we extract this texture to the folder and use this texture instead. Looks great. Later on, we'll do the same thing with the hair and use the Magneto Lasso tool. Now in our materials, click on the normal maps and use the corresponding normal maps for your model. At this point, the model is ready for upload, but we're going to change a few things. Let's firstly change the position of the eye location. We're also going to quickly add lip sync so our avatar's mouth moves. If you're unsure where to put specific visemes for your model, just look at the main model's mesh and check to see which one looks the best. I'm also going to go back in and change the eyes to look a lot more natural instead of wide-eyed. You can also change the base layers if you want, but for me, I'm going to stick to the default ones. Now up top, we'll open our VRChat SDK, sign in and fix any problems with the model. Oh, and one last thing. Make sure to go into the model, change the animation type to humanoid. Go into configure and change the upper chest to spine 3. Check the head to see if any bones are going to something you don't want them going to. Once that's done, the model is ready to be uploaded or tested. As you can see, the model looks great. Animations work on it, and we've come to the close of this video. This section is to cover any questions or things to note while uploading these models. Question 1, is this against Valve's TOS? No, it's not. Valve openly allows people to accessibly use their models and tools as long as it's not for commercial or monetized use. Question 2, is this against VRChat's community guidelines? No, it's not. Underneath the article about asset reverse engineering, stealing, extraction, or ripping content, it is stated that you cannot redistribute any content from VRChat and VRChat alone. Nothing is stated about using ripped assets from Steam and uploading them yourself. Question 3. Should you ask permission to use a hexed file before exporting it to VRChat? Most hex files available on the internet are available because the creators allow them to be used. Websites like GameBanana and mods.tf allow you to use their models within TF2. I would still, however, encourage you to credit the model makers in the description of your upload. Question 4. What if I want to use the SFM model of the Scout or Sniper, but I don't have a fix for the model within Source Filmmaker? You won't be able to do anything unless you either ask someone within the SFM community for a fix, know how to fix it yourself, or use a normal model. I'm sorry, but there is no workaround. Question 5. How do I add visemes to a model that has face visemes, such as a mustache or a beard? Import your model with the face visemes alone alongside your character model that's already separated and it has visemes on it. Select the new model, then import the VTA files for that model specifically. Check to see if the other model's VTA isn't messed up. If they are, then you can either delete it and retry this process till it works, or look in the SFM workshop to see if there's a fixed one. Once that's done, select the two models and merge the meshes. Now in Unity with the lip sync, they move at the same time and not just one or the other. Question 6. What preset should I use for dynamic bones on the medic's cloak? Firstly, place your dynamic bones in the hip bone on the model, then add 5 exclusions. Place the hips pouch, and spine bone within the exclusions. Change the update rate to 90, damping to 0.05, elasticity to 0.005, stiffness to 0.9, and the inertia to 0.8. Press play, and as you can see, the cape moves normally. Question 7. What light ramp should I use if I'm planning on using a different shader? I would recommend using this light ramp, which will be linked in the description. Question 8. What shader would you recommend for making TF2 avatars? I don't make TF2 models anymore, but I will say that the ZZ Toon shader is my personal favorite. Link for that will be in the description below. Question 9. What if I want to add eye simulation? The mesh for the eyes are a static model and can't be moved normally. You'll need to make a new eye mesh within Blender, add new bones for the eyes, then use the 3.0 eye look menu to set the rest of it up. I personally don't know how to do this, so I would recommend asking a modeler how he would approach this. Question 10. My hands or other parts of my body turn invisible at certain angles for other people. How do you fix this? I still don't know how to fix this. I tried looking for tutorials and tried every method to fix it and still nothing. If you can find an actual working one, then please feel free to link it in the comments. Any other questions, I'll try to answer in the comments below. But keep in mind that I am not an expert on this subject, so don't expect me to be able to answer every single question. I barely know much about modeling or rigging anyways. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Sorry for not getting this video out faster than originally intended. Thanks for watching, I'm Cameron, and see you all in the next one. Goodbye. What is that? I can't. What?
Name is Gregory.
Good. Why'd you do that?
Dude, how hard was that?
That literally, you broke your camera.
No, I didn't.
Imagine if you did though.